Assassin's Creed Shadows was revealed, and there has been a lot of talk on the internet. I normally don't put my hat into this one, but I got time today, guys. We're gonna dive into this. It's kind of comical, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't entertain these conversations because I find it hilarious. And I want to just try to help inform people as well as help all of us kind of come to a deeper level of understanding with these games and so on. So lock in here with me. It should be a fun ride. There's plenty to talk about. We're going to be watching some very exclusive Assassin's Creed Shadows footage that I have and some actual other things that I'm going to be breaking down as we go forward today. First and foremost, I want to say that it's your choice to play the games you feel and you love. Don't let nobody, not even myself included, deter you from experiencing what you are interested in. My points in this video that I'm going to be sharing right now is mainly just to give you some food for thought and kind of share perspective. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. There's no wrong answers on what you feel or you don't feel. First of all, while I am partnered with Ubisoft, I can care less who plays their games or not. I'll tell you that much. Okay, I'm not invested. I don't have any stocks in their actual product, and I don't benefit from them in any other way other than getting maybe a code for a game early or some, Twitch drops or something like that, which isn't a big deal. They don't have, I'm not on their salary in any way. My opinions are my own. And to start off with that, I actually have a giveaway for this game that's out of my pocket. You can go into the descriptions to check that out and see what it's about. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. First and foremost, the controversy I rather focus on that I think everybody should have a discussion about and kind of come to some clarity about this product and this game is pretty simple. Okay, we understand that they're going to be dropping different versions of this, and I'm not here to defend again one side or the other. Do we know what's best for each person? No, I don't like to be somebody who's pushing that narrative. I'd rather you figure out what you want to pay for. Okay, and so to start off with that, I think that's gonna be helpful, hopefully, so that people can know, like, hey man, he's not pushing an agenda. Don't purchase the game at all. Okay, that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like, if you really are not interested, then just don't purchase it at all. What's the big deal? That's just how I feel. Okay, so I'm gonna take a moment to show you guys why I say this, and it's somewhat controversial for you guys. I get it, but for me, it's not a big deal. In the end of the day, these games and other companies always do this where they have different versions. They have the standard version where you're gonna get the base game and a pre-order bonus, which is always nice, and I think it's encouraging, right? But this is where we can all fight in the comments. The gold edition, the ultimate edition, and so on, right? This is one of the first controversies. By the way, we're gonna get into the whole thing about the Black Samurai and the female character as well. This is, I got time today, guys. I just had to come with it. But first thing, we're gonna start off with this. You got $70 for a regular base game. To me, I think that's worth it as long as the game is good, right? I don't care about anything else. If the game is good, I'll pay 70 easily, because I think it's worth it. Hopefully the game is good. That's something we won't know for sure until we see gameplay, we see all the breakdowns. It sounds good right now. The trailer looks amazing. The overall breakdown that I showcased on my other video, you can watch that, looks great. But is it worth 70? We won't know. We're going to check out on Ubisoft Forward and all the other things, and I'll break it down on my opinions on what I feel. But today's topic is about things like this, okay? We have standard, we have the gold, Now, the goal is providing a season pass plus 3-day early access. Now, this is the two conversations that I want to start. If you choose and you feel, you know what, y'all not getting my money. Hey, man, good for you. Don't buy any game if you feel season pass sucks. Simple as that. Don't buy the game, or buy the game and don't buy the season pass. You don't have to. Oh, I'm going to miss out on some extra content. Well, if you don't like the content, you don't have to pay for it. Right? That's how I feel about it. It's really cut and dry, and this is why it's comedical when people rage about this. You don't have to pay for this, and you can force the companies to say, hey, season passes are no good. We're not making money. And we're done. But for some reason, it's not just Assassin's Creed, by the way. Every single game has season passes now. I wonder why. And it's not because they want to, because you support it. You pay for it. Somebody's paying for it. And I paid for it in different games. But I promise you, I'm probably in the minority of people who hardly spends any money on season passes unless I absolutely love the game and I said, you know what, this is going to be worth it for me. And that's rare that a game gets my attention that much, because I play so many games. I love trying new things. You have to really make me love you. Now, I will admit the 3-day early access is one that catches me. I am a content creator, and the times that I don't get a review code, which is rare, but when I don't get a review code, it's tempting to get the 3-day early access. Now, here's a question for you guys. Most people are not content creators. Most people that are content creators probably don't care about this. They're happy to wait. And that's fine. Don't spend your money. And make sure that they know, hey, we're not going to buy that extra stuff. And so this is the first topic I want to touch on. It is an important one. I think it's probably the most important, realistic conversation that's cut and dry. There's not a lot of complicated. I know there's controversy about this. It's really not that deep. It's really not that hard to just say, I am not supporting that. I don't care what you guys do or don't do. It's not happening. And so that's what I got to say about that. And now we're going to get into some of the other aspects that we can start talking about, which is super interesting. And hopefully you guys don't mind. We have two characters, male and female, and I'm going to showcase to you guys a bunch of cool footage and actual visuals from Ubisoft directly. They hooked me up. And they did this just as a promotional thing. They kind of get creators, by the way, the creator program. Just to clarify, pretty easy. You just basically get some stuff like this, which allows you to get better access, and they give you some information on what the game is after they drop the trailer, so that you can share and break things down in your own way. Okay, very cool in my opinion. All right, but this doesn't tell you if I like a game or not. They don't ever tell me to say that you like it, say that it's great, give it a good rating, because that's illegal. And now we're going to get into the main topic. And so this is the topic. I actually absolutely despise the internet for this. It's the reason I'm making this video. I think the internet is pretty pathetic when it comes to some of this stuff. I think you guys have exaggerated to a maximum when it comes to this game. And we're going to talk about these two characters right here. Okay. You have the amazing female character who's a farmer who was being trained as a shinobi by her master, which we do see a footage of here. And she's just somebody taking care of business. And then she gets raided and things start happening, and that just opens a door for her to really become who she was already training to be, a shinobi. And now the reason I bring this up is because the controversy is, oh, they got female characters. Why would they do that? You know, one of the good topics, which is true, females can't really beat as many men as we see in this game. That is fake, right? There's a topic there, and this is for every game. Can a female actually fight against a male and do some damage? The truth is, women's body types usually are smaller with less muscle mass, and that's okay. But there's a lot of skilled women who can take out men. And the first topic that I want to talk about is, in this game, it's not about, oh, let's just have a female to be able to have diversity to make it sound cool. No, guess what? She's an assassin. Females can make better assassins. They're lighter, so they probably can be more agile. They can sneak in through different areas. And it actually makes more sense for a female to become an assassin style of a fighter, because she is, as you guys say, weaker than a male when it comes to power and strength. Well, there you go. I just broke your contradiction that women are weaker by telling you, yeah, well, this game is giving us the truth, which is a female assassin going in here and actually becoming a stealthy player for the game. So with that in mind, we're going to come back and forth to these topics, by the way. I want to discuss the one and the only, the black man. Get your money. This is America. Well, it's actually Japan. And it's a black samurai. And guess what? That does exist. And that is something factual that we've seen in history. Unfortunately, people are misinformed and the internet has been going crazy. Why would Assassin's Creed put a black a black samurai in their game when it's in Japan? Well, guess what? It did happen, and it's interesting as hell. And to be honest with you guys, the first thing I thought about is, what if they just let us create characters? You know how many female video gamers are going to make a female character? I myself have made female characters for some games. Just depends on the game and how I feel that day. And then there's cool games that will let you switch back and forth at any time, and you can be whatever you want to be. And I like that too, because sometimes I get bored of the same visual, and let's switch it out from a male to a female. And in the old days, I used to make the same character over and over. The guy that looks like me with black hair, tan skin, and brown eyes, and a little beard. And then I started saying, dude, you're boring. Why don't you make a character that's interesting? Give him a cut on his face. Make him have gray hair. Make him a different race. And just change it up. Make him smaller or taller, and all of this cool stuff. And it's become very fun creating characters. The reason I say this is because having a black character who's actually the first historical character that we get to play in all Assassin's Creed games. There hasn't been an Assassin's Creed game where we had a playable character be an historical figure. And we got that in this game. So to me, that is awesome and encouraging, because we know the history behind this guy. There's some decent amount of information out there, and it was interesting to just have some historical evidence and then also exploring a new storyline for him and so on. There's plenty of movies and TV shows and novels with this character, but now we get to play as him. So I think it's great. I don't appreciate this whole, oh, why does he gotta be black concept, because guess what? Who cares? If I made a created character instead of having someone that make their own character, I can have myself a good time with the game regardless if I made them orange or yellow or green, or purple. It didn't matter. If the game is good, the game is good. I'm not here to judge if the game is good. I'm judging off of my excitement from the trailers, my excitement from the information. All of this cool stuff so far looks great. So these are the conversations I want to spark up and get into. And that same thing goes with the female, right? You create a female character if you want. and that's fine too. Now, I want to touch on something that probably one of the most heavy-hitting conversations within this whole thing is that Assassin's Creed has been historically accurate, okay? And they have had endless, probably the best game in the history of video games when it comes to history being brought to a video game. They've given me the most lessons than any other game ever. And I've researched because of their cool concepts. When you go to the first Assassin's Creed and the Third Crusade, you go to Assassin's Creed 2 in Florence and all the history there. You have Brotherhood, which had the Renaissance reign. I mean, you go down the list of all of these very amazing games. You know, in recent years, we got Odyssey, Alexander the Great, Cleopatra type of stuff. Then you had, I'm sorry, that was Origin. And then Odyssey was in the Greek times with the Spartans and the very cool things that they did over there. I mean, you go down the list, it's endless, from Unity going to Notre Dame and all of the things there. Just beautiful, from landscapes to other characters and so on. So the question of questioning them is pretty hilarious to me. And I think this is more clickbait conversations. And I just wanted to throw my hat in here, not on some clickbait, but to kind of rebuttal against the clickbait. So if you're here and you stuck by some of this conversation, I think you're open-minded and honest with yourself. Like, yo, you know what? Leonardo da Vinci in Assassin's Creed 2, all of the Italian stuff, that was such a great time. I really like that. Or let's say Assassin's Creed 3, the American Revolution, everything that happened there. I mean, this game has, this history is thick, and you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Personally, I can care less about these so-called people trying to say, oh, this is terrible, why would they do this? It makes no sense. If it was a created character, no one would have a conversation about, oh, why did she make a female character? Nobody would be mad. Or if it was a black character, no one would care. This is just targeted nonsense that people want to build controversy. And let me tell you the truth. People get a lot of views off of just hating. And I'm sure people have already clicked off. If you're still watching, you're a real one, because those who clicked off are the people with the closed-minded that wants to hate and wants to talk bad about this game and just have this silly reasons on what they don't like, why they don't like it, and how they feel like this game's being fake by having a black guy as the main playable character or a female, which makes no sense. And just to kind of touch on a couple more things, the female characters in the history of video games, you're talking about Lara Croft, one of the greatest original heroes. You're looking at Aloy from Horizon Forbidden West, who's beating out machines, one of the most badass characters you can name. In recent times, you have Eva, aka Stellar Blade character. Of course, you have the Last of Us, Resident Evil, all of these, I mean, like, endless amounts of cool characters that we've seen in our lifetime. I mean, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why can't we have that? Because it's a Ubisoft game? And that is honestly the type of question I just wonder, what is going on in people's brains? Like, what are you talking about, dude? It just doesn't make sense to me. And so I had to make this video to kind of pour out, like, what are you saying, bro? Like, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Let it be what it's going to be. Am I pushing for a narrative of having a female or a black guy? Honestly, no. And this is my facts here. I can care less what they are. I mean, you can give me a dinosaur, right? You can give me Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, tree, talking tree. If the game is fun, the game is fun, okay? And historically, there's nothing wrong with a video game adding their own twist. That's what makes games great. it's a fantasy. You know, if we're gonna be historic, well, if you die once, then you can't play the game anymore. You might have to return it. And that's kind of how I feel. And this is me taking shots at everybody who's taking shots at this game. And the thing is I'm just using this game as a actual anchor. To be honest with you guys, there's literally endless videos for each game. Nowadays, it's a trend, and you're gonna get a lot of views, and you're gonna get a lot of engagement on social media if you just find something to hate on a video game about. Like, I could just put out anything, you know? And as long as it's something that you're hating on, you dislike, people will view it. And so maybe people watching this video thought I was gonna come in here and rant about the silliness that I've seen online. And to kind of talk about that before we go here, because I wanna just be real. The conversation is that the black man is not a samurai. He was a retainer. And now the conversation is, what was a samurai? And people don't know the difference. But the fact is, he was a samurai. And he done a lot of great things. And there's only a little bit of true history behind him, but it's there. So pay attention and you'll see for yourself, right? And then as far as the female character, like I said, it is facts. I always talk about never having a male compete in combat sports against a female. I think it's unfair, but that doesn't mean that a female soldier, warrior can't be great. And we've seen it time and time in real life and in video games. It's always fun. But I'm not thinking about whether it's male or female. When I watch a trailer, my thoughts are, is this game any good? What it's going to be about? I'm not worried about the gender or the race. I'm not sure why that's a factor. At this day and age in 2024, I would think people are educated enough to say, hey man, just make something great. It is what it is. In the old days, you might have should have had that conversation when it was all white male in Africa, Japan, and every movie you name, like The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise, you know, great performance, great movie in its own right. But I'm saying that was the standard in the old days. Now having the diversity shouldn't be a complaint. It shouldn't be, oh, this is so bad. You know, it's like, hey, just give me a dope game, a dope story. Having a black man is very interesting. I'm gonna be honest. Do I need another Asian for all of these hundreds of Asian games that I absolutely love? Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, Rise of the Ronin, most recently, my favorite game of 2024 so far. And I love all these games, but can we have a little mix-up and make it interesting? Now I want to know the storyline. Why is he even out here? What is he going to be doing, and what is the cause and the effect of everything he does within this game? Super interesting. So we will see in due time. I'm very excited to dive down that rabbit hole and have some fun conversations. And I just had to kind of get this off my chest. It's because it's always a topic with every game, race or sex. It's like, who cares? I've never really cared about what race or sex anybody was in any video game. I just wanted to have a good time and enjoy myself. So I recommend you do the same. This is probably something you've never seen me do before and have this type of topic, but I had to get it off my chest, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. By the way, the giveaway is very simple. You're going to be subscribed. You're going to leave some comments. You have a better chance of winning if you're watching and commenting on all my videos, because I'm going to pull a winner for a copy of Assassin's Creed Shadows. So just go check that video out, popping up right now, so you can have a better chance to win. And also check out the link so you can get yourself something. Should be popping up now. See you later. Peace.